Hello everybody, this is the Joe Beam Videos on Jimmy Master Animatronics, and today I have to review the 2010 YJ Life-Size Animated Bone Collector. Now, this guy, holy shit, one of my dream props for so many fucking years. I saw him the first time, I think in probably like 2014, because that was when I started watching Joe Beam Videos, which is exactly why I fucking stole his intro for the bit, but... yeah, that was the first time I saw him, and I immediately fall in love. I had to have him. But the issue was is that I couldn't find him. I couldn't afford him, and that was the time when, props were a bit of a rarity. I think for, like, that next couple of years, the only props I had were Howler and Ghost Girl. I've been dreaming of owning this man ever since then. He's probably, in all honesty, one of my favorite props of all time. I love everything about him. Now this one, I paid a fair bit for it. It was $250, which isn't horrible to be honest. But the thing is that this one is in immaculate condition. Actually, fun fact, came from the same haunt that I got Grimsley from. If I'm correct, they, for like a couple of years, were pretty actually close to each other in that haunt. Yeah, I got them both from the same dude, and he's a really nice guy. I don't think he has any other props for sale anymore. I think he's pretty much sold all of them because he shut down his haunt. But he came from the exact same haunt that Grimsley did. And this guy clearly knew how to take care of his props. Because holy shit, Bone Collector is fucking immaculate. His entire body is made of latex, so dry rot is it can be an issue for this guy, but holy shit, mine's perfect. There's no dry rot anywhere. Mechanically, he's in amazing condition. He sort of like, other older props, he takes a minute to warm up sometimes. Like, you gotta activate him like 10 times or so for him to get really fast. But once he gets going, he's really fucking fast. Like, his neck extends pretty quickly, and then the head also turns pretty quickly, so it actually makes 2 full loops around. Sometimes, though, it'll hit the relay switch early when it's a little bit slower, and then it'll only make 1 loop around, so he'll just kind of sit there for the rest of the phrase. But, again, that problem is amended by just kind of running him a bit more. I believe he retailed for $150 back in 2010. He was in, of course, Cirque du Spirit. I believe he was next to Zombie Barrel, either that or Caged Beast. I can't quite remember which he was next to, but I know he was near one of them on a pile of crates. Much like Deadlift Zombie, he comes in one piece, other than you have to put his head on. That's like the only setup that's needed on both him and Deadlift Zombie. You just put their heads on and then pose them how you want, and poof, they're set up. His speaker is pretty damn loud. Of course, because, older YJ, actually, still even newer YJ is pretty loud. Like, Bloody Bag of Jokes is loud as shit. And, yeah, I don't know where his speaker is. I think it's somewhere near his dick for some reason. Like, it's not in his chest anywhere, which I guess that makes sense. There's the long neck that has to extend. Yeah, his speaker's loud. He has a sound sensor. I don't believe he has a motion sensor anywhere. And his sound sensor is actually pretty damn good. On mine, it's another one of those things where it has to take a minute to warm up a bit. Like, some sound sensors are kind of just like that sometimes, but again, once it's warmed up, it's really good. It's pretty damn sensitive. Much better than, like, Deadlift Zombie. Deadlift Zombie is fucking deaf. Same with... He's in storage right now, but same with Beheaded Bride over there. Her sound sensor is atrocious. But Bone Collector's is surprisingly pretty damn good. Everything on him is pretty much posable. You can pose his arms like you want. They got bendable wires in them. You can pose it 3 out of his 5 fingers on each hand. Like the 3 fingers in the middle you can pose. The other 2 are, like his pinky and his thumb, are just sort of just latex. They're just kind of there. You can pose his legs like you want to, which is a good thing because he sits like shit. His base, I don't even know if you could call it a base. It's not like the techie props or even Face Changer where there's a pretty big, base down there so he can sit on it and, balance. Bone Collector you have to position his legs so he's essentially supporting himself from the floor so he doesn't fall forward, which is like probably the only thing I don't like about him is how small his ass is. But I mean, if he had a big base, it would probably take away from his looks, in my opinion at least. So I don't know. Especially with the legs being the way they are, it's not that big of an issue as long as you can get him to balance right. He is amazingly detailed. Like, I love his looks so fucking much, dude. Everything about it is insane. There's so much really, it's like a very detailed skeleton mold. Not the most anatomically correct of things, but honestly, I think for him it works. Like, everything is so detailed. And those pants, of course, come with him and they are not removable. But honestly, I kind of like him having the pants. You can put clothes on him too. He's like, since his body's fairly small, you just kind of have to work around with getting the arms and like sleeves. I had him in a flannel for a while, but then I'm trying to look for a better flannel, like a more tattered up one. And also, I just really like seeing this guy's like general like rib cage and shit. I don't know, it's cool. You know, I just really like him. Yeah, he fully works. I will get to activating him now. I'll point the camera upwards a little bit so you can actually, you know, see his neck.
Be warned. Once you enter my house, you'll never get to leave!
Yeah, see how his head is able to make 2 loops before it hits the relay switch? That's because the mechanisms have warmed up. It's not anything to do with like him breaking mechanically, it's just age. I think there is a way to replace the motors, but honestly with how durable YJ motors tend to be, I don't think it's really that necessary. Like, YJ uses some damn good motors.
Soon, this nightmare will end. Until then, your soul is mine!
His phrases are incredible. I love them. They're just the right amount of cheesiness. I love the really exaggerated laughs that are at the beginning and the ends of his phrase. He has, I think, 5 phrases? I'm not sure. But I love the exaggerated ass laughs, and I fucking adore the organ music in the background. It is so delightful to me. Fun fact, his audio was actually done by Seasonal Visions. Mike Reynolds, the main creative, like, director person guy kind of thing, he voiced Bone Collector. They got Seasonal Visions onto the team to do the voice for Bone Collector. Which I think it's probably just because at the time YJ's audio has never been quite as good as like Seasonal Visions. Like, most of the time their props don't really even have like background music, like Bloody Bag of Jokes, for example. Like, with most talking props, they'll have some kind of background music or sound effects in there. YJ most of the time doesn't, and honestly, I kind of don't like it. I don't know. It's always been like a very minor thing that just sort of bugged me, but it's not really much of a problem. Honestly, this guy probably has one of the best YJ audios because of the fact that Seasonal Visions was put on the team. Also, his head, the mold, comes from another prop that was sold in 2008 called, I believe, the Zombie Cowboy. It was precisely what it sounds like, and that's where this head mold came from. It was made by Tailux Artware, and I'm not really sure if them and YJ had any kind of partnership, but it's the exact same head mold.
Well, it is nice to see some warm flesh again. You better run before you become my next meal. Be warned.
He basically shares the exact same mechanism as Deadlift Zombie and Toxic Zombie Barrel. They all sort of had the same mech design where it's, go up with that track and then head turn with a relay switch. Bone Collectors is, I think, the most durable. Toxic Zombies seems okay. I don't have him, obviously. I want him really badly, but he's pretty uncommon. And Deadlift Zombies is the most faulty for some reason. I think it might just be because he has the most weight to carry, but regardless.
Soon, this nightmare will end. Until then, your soul is mine!
Yeah, I'm just so fucking happy to have this fucker. Again, he's one of my all-time favorite props, if not my all-time favorite prop. Again, he's one of my all-time favorite props. I love him so fucking much. He's fantastic. I'll go up to him, show a little bit more of the detailing on him, because it's great. I love it. Fingies are uncomfortably long, and again, these three, they have bendable wires in them, but then there's like the thumb and the pinky, which are just sort of latex. Yeah, his entire body's latex. I sort of got to fix this joint here because it looks a little janky. Ribcage, obviously, all around here. Latex. The head's latex. It's pretty squishy. Sort of like Deadlift Zombies, if yours isn't dry rotted, which most of them are. Mine's pretty okay, though. He's in there. He's chilling. But yeah, he's got the classic, like, LEDs sticking out of the skull type eyes. That was before they, of course, had the YJ eyes that we now all know and love, unlike Headbanger and Blood Bacon Jokes over there. And yeah, he has this fucking enormous tooth gap, and I kind of love it. Obviously, there is structure under here, like this neck piece is plastic covered by latex. His pants are pretty alright material. Yeah. Everything about him is honestly just fantastic. I love this guy. Holy shit, so fucking much. I think that's really all I gotta say about him. He's such a fucking good prop. Definitely get him if you can. He's not horribly uncommon. He's not horribly rare. He's uncommon, especially in good condition. I just got really lucky with mine. But if you can find one, definitely scoop it up. But again, these guys have a bit of a problem with dry rot because the full latex bodies. Yeah, so that's really about all I gotta say. How did Jordan outro his videos? Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and bye.